Hello, I am Alan Chao,
I'm Gavin,
and this is our computer networking project, Chat app.
So those are the tools we use for our project. So in the server side, we mainly use SQLite 3 and Flask. We use Flask to write our server for this chat app, and we use SQLite 3 to become our database. The reason we choose is because it is easy to configure, because we can only manipulate a local file instead of connecting to a database server.
And for the client side, we use a classic HTML and CSS and JavaScript combo. And then it is for building a web interface. And then we use jQuery for some AJAX request. And then for the connection side, we use a library called Socket.io that is both installed on Flask and on JavaScript. So we can send and receive information from both sides, the client and the server. And for the message connection, Socket.io actually implement the usage of WebSocket, which is a application protocol that is built on TCP, and then it is good for bidirectional messages instead of the HTTP model.
This is how we implement our socket in our program. So the right side is the server, which listens for the connections, and the left side is a client, and we use this line to connect to these server sockets.
And these are the code for the server to listen on what is sent on the client, and this is how the client sends the message to the server. We have a JSON file, and then we send through the socket.
So those are the main functions we write in our client and server. So the very first one is the register and log in. So here we log in user 1 first, which has been registered before, and here we register for user 2, new user, and in the server, whenever they register or log in, they will check the database with their username and password. And for the password, we use a password hashing. So this example, all users register with a password 126, but in the database, it will be stored as this hash algorithm to 256 type.
And then for the user interface, there will be a function to get a list of existing users on the group chat or on the whole application. So for example, right now, user 1 have a list of all active users, and then it only contains user 2, and user 2 only contains user 1. But if we log in the rest of the 2 users, user 3, log in, and then user 4, we just register user 4. So right now, we have an updated list of the existing users on every tab, and we can see on every user's perspective, they have all other users on their list. And this is done by a asynchronous AJAX request. So basically, the server have all the information right now, but the client have to request for it, and the client set a request, and then the server will reply the client for what is right now the list, and then the client will have a list on their local JavaScript program, and then it will be displayed on the user interface.
Yes. Also, now is the most important function is about the messaging. So all the users are by default logged into this general group chat. So let's say hello everyone. So other users can see this message. Also, if user 1 wants to private message user 2, hello user 2. User 2 will be notified by both the sound and this small notification here, which stands for the number of messages, incoming messages. Say hello user 2 again, and it will get 2 in its place. And also in the server, whenever it receives a message from a user, it will update the database of the history and forward that message to the right destination, either a group chat or the members in the group chat or a private chat.
Yes, so every message is stored in a database. And then whenever we hit the button to receive the message, it actually sends a message to the server to retrieve all the message logs. And then we can see here are the 2 messages that user 1 sent to user 2 some seconds ago, and then we can see user 1. And then there will be also a function that creates a group chat. For example, if we user 1 creates a group chat that only contains user 2 and user 3, we'll call it test, and then it will be created. And it will also be a sound and visual response of the creating a group chat. So if we say hello user 2 and user 3, so both user 2 and user 3 will receive the update on the message. However, for user 4 can also see the update on the group chat, but user 4 has yet not been joining the group chat. However, if user 4 just hit the button, it will just automatically join the group chat.
See the history.
And then he will just say, hello, these users, hello, fellows. And then we'll see that the list have already contained all the users in the group chat. And then if we hit this button, it will actually direct us to the private message of the user, hello, user 3. And then the other function is to delete the group, but it is only open to the one who created the group. And for the server side, creating a group will check the name and initialize the database, and it will contain only letters and spaces, but not any other characters. And then whenever anyone joins the group, the server will receive a message of who is joining and who is not, and then it will be updated and then stored in a database. And then for deleting group, we can see there's a button, and then we can just delete the group right now. And then everybody else will be directed to the general tab once the group is deleted.
Also, beside the text sending, we also support first emoji sending and then the image sending. For the emoji, we have a huge collection of it. If we only send one emoji, this emoji will be emphasized, it will be big. If we send multiple emojis, it will be the regular size. And note that in the server, when we store this information, this is the emoji will be saved similar as the text, because both of them follows the UTF-8. When it comes to the image sending, one also can send an image to everyone else. In the server side, the server will save the image as a BLOB type in the database, which stands for binary long objects. And the mechanism is the user who sent this image will send this image as a binary file encoded with the base 64, and this type will also be saved in the database. And apart from all those basic functions, we also implement a basic prevention from users' cheating behaviors. Let's say another users want to cheat to log in with this website. You can see this URL, all the URLs will contain the username on it. We'll see don't cheat, login first.
It'll be redirected to the homepage and then prevent the user from getting in. And then we also have this logout button. It can be done in two ways. The first way is just to log out like this. And the other way is just by simply closing the tab. And then we also define a customized message sending protocols, and it contains several types. The first type is connect, and the second type is send, which is the most common one. It determines whether the type is send a message or send an image, and the content will be either a string or a base 64 binary file, and the chat will be either private or group. So the destination will be either a user or a group name.
And also this is the join type. Whenever a user wants to join either a private message or a group message, we will send this message to the server. And we have type join, chat, private, group chat, and from username, and to is the destination, either group name or a username.
And then these two are related to the creating and deleting group functions. And we only limited the creating groups to the member who created the group, and like that person is the only one who can delete the group. Thank you.
Thank you.